Welcome back to our podcast, you guys. This is the Kick Corporate Podcast where we talk about all the things that are going to help you buy back your time through real estate investing. We're focusing on STRs for the rest of the year, whether you like it or not. So you're going to hear a lot about short-term rentals and how they can help you in your investing playbook, right? And how you can use them. So today, our topic is how smart investors use what we're calling the infinity loop. And we're going to teach you what that means and how they use this infinity loop to build generational wealth.
Reiterate based on last week, if you didn't listen, it's all about short-term rentals because that's the easiest way for most investors to get started taking advantage of bonus depreciation. And short-term rentals are not just for lifestyle freedom, which they do definitely offer, but they're also for legacy building. And if last week was really about using short-term rentals to buy back your time, then this week we really want to focus on how you can legally use the tax code to build generational wealth. And that is really what most people's goal is with real estate investing, is not just building for me, but it's for my family and for generations behind me. If you look at the wealthiest people in our country, that's exactly what they've done and how they've gotten to where they are. Like the Rockefellers and big names, East Coast, old money. It's exactly what they've done. And it's using the tax code to our advantage, as many of these wealthy families and business folks have done as well.
Heck yeah. Even just this week, we had a client who we helped sell a duplex to last year reach out and say, hey, Suzanne and Sarah, I'm on track for another investment next year in 2026. And with this next investment, I'd like to take advantage of bonus depreciation. What's the best way to get started doing that? And we enlightened him, as we did you last week, that there's a really fat difference between owning a long-term rental and owning a short-term rental and what it takes to qualify for real estate professional status, given those two different investment types. So outlining that for him, he had his aha moment. Oh, sounds like that's a no-brainer way to go. And we're here to also tell you that the same strategy that saved us 5 figures on our taxes this year can also erase capital gains taxes. It can delay your taxes indefinitely. And by doing this is how you can help your heirs inherit your portfolio tax.
Yeah. And that's why it's called the infinity loop, because you buy it, you depreciate it, you sell it in 1031 and roll all of your gains into the next property. And if you keep doing that, then if you hold it until you pass away, then your heirs inherit that property at the stepped up basis, which in plain English means they inherit it at the value of the property at your passing. So then 0 capital gains taxes are due. It's like printing money. It's out of thin air, because you have no taxable event. And that's also the piece that ties into the generational wealth. And that's how you set up your family for a life of opportunity.
Yeah. So we're calling it the infinity loop. And guess what? The IRS, they call it perfectly legal. You just have to understand how it works. So last week, we were talking about STRs on a more micro level. And this week, we're talking about how they fit into the bigger ecosystem of investing. People who are wealthy and financially free have figured out and have been quietly using for decades. So for me, when I figured this out, when I understood what bonus depreciation could do for tax savings, then the next question is, what happens after the first year? Like, how do I keep deferring taxes and scaling safely?
Yeah, and this is perfectly timed because I just had my 2025 tax planning meeting with our amazing CPA. And this is really when the magic really clicked for me, because it was like, I did bonus depreciation last year, and I also bought a new STR in 2025. My tax bill for this year is going to be $0 because of bonus depreciation. It is that impactful. And if I then sold that property in 2026 and rolled it into another one, then guess what? All the profit is tax-free. I never have to recapture that depreciation, and I just keep repeating that cycle. And that's really what this is all about. It's not one-time savings. It is an infinite cycle, and it is so incredibly powerful.
Yeah. So We'll just break it down step by step for you so it's a little bit clearer, and hopefully you can take notes if you need. But it starts with obviously owning a property that you can sell, do a 1031 exchange. And if you don't know what a 1031 exchange is, reach out to us. We've got more information to share with you on that. From this, you can roll your gains from one property to the next, and no taxes are triggered at that time as long as you do it by all the rules. And there are some pretty stringent rules around it. Step number one, that was that 1031 exchange. Step number two, you've bought that new property. You've rolled your gains from one property into the next. And on that new property, you do what's called a cost segregation study. And this allows you to accelerate the depreciation for big paper losses that current tax year that you purchased that property, or even retroactively if you want to go back and do it for properties prior tax years, as Suzanne talked a little bit about doing herself last episode.
Next step is REPS, which stands for real estate professional status. You do not have to be a realtor to qualify for this. It's about how many hours you participate in the management and oversight of your investment property. So if you qualify for REP status, you need to have a minimum of 750 hours and more than anybody else. However, if you're buying a short-term rental, that material participation number comes down to 100 hours. So this is how you can prove to the IRS that you are actively involved in your rental property to qualify for this massive tax. And then finally, the last step of the infinity loop is holding until you die. And this is where what I was talking about earlier, that step up in basis wipes away all of your deferred taxes, and it gives your heirs the property completely tax-free at your death at the current market value. So the key message from this whole little infinity loop is that you're not avoiding taxes. You are mastering your timing of them. And as we all know in real estate and generally in life, timing is everything when it comes to creating the freedom that you want in your life, the experiences that you want in your life, and ultimately the legacy that you leave behind.
Heck yeah, it's a fun little loop and we're excited to share it.
Yeah.
All this. Let's talk about our tip of the week, bonus depreciation tip of the week.
Do you want to just switch and you'll do the first?
All this to say that depreciation recapture isn't the villain that you think it is. Some people worry about depreciating the whole thing and then going to sell the property in the next year. And yeah, it's real. It is capped at a total of 25%, which is usually lower than your ordinary income tax rate, right? If you do a 1031 exchange and hold it until death, you might never have to pay taxes on that property at all.
Yeah. And just to be clear for people that might not understand what depreciation recapture is, say the short-term rental that I bought this year that I'm going to fully depreciate and take all the depreciation this year, then that means when I go to sell it, if I just sold it next year and I didn't 1031, I would have to recapture that depreciation, but it's not the full amount. So it is taxed much lower. And it's something that, depending on your financial situation, could still be a legitimate tax strategy for you. It just depends on where you're at and what your goals are. The other thing we just want to reiterate here, the goal is not to dodge taxes, it's to defer them strategically while your money keeps working for you. And it's so important. It's just like what we learn about investing, like start as young as you can and give yourself the gift of compound interest, because that is what multiplies your money so incredibly quickly. Ultimately, what leads to that generational wealth.
Yeah. And we see this in practice every day in what we do. And we talk about this one all-star client of ours often, but they're a great example of using this cycle. So I think they're worth talking about again. And we have one client that started their investing journey with us with a single short-term rental for the bonus depreciation play. And then 2 years later, they're already on their 7th property. And maybe they haven't rolled all of them through this cycle yet, but they have done this with several of them. So selling it, 1031 exchange, and using their tax professional to help them map out their rep status and the cost seg, and using it to their benefit as far as tax savings goes. And cases that we've known so far, since we've been working for them, getting a refund on their taxes when they're 6-figure earner, W-2 earners. So there's a difference. There's a difference between earning for income and earning for freedom. And these clients, I think, are a really good example of that to highlight.
They have a very clear goal and a plan to achieve it. And the goal is to get one of them out of a W-2 job and replace that multiple six-figure income with income from rentals and tax strategies from rentals as well. So I know we've thrown a lot of new terms at you, like depreciation recapture and like all kinds of things. You might just be like, oh my gosh, it sounds like their language. You guys, I'm here to tell you, we have our most amazing CPA coming on tomorrow on our meetup, and we will be having that live as well if you're joining us on YouTube, so you can catch it there. And he will be sharing and breaking down exactly how you can qualify for rep status, bonus depreciation responsibly, and plan your infinity loop with confidence. And he is not just a tax filer, he's a strategist. And that is why we're so passionate about his work and what he does and how he does it. So if you are serious about buying short-term rentals or getting rep status and using this bonus depreciation gift from the IRS as a tool for your financial independence, this is the room you want to be in. And you can be there physically tomorrow in our beautiful office in Bend, Oregon, or you can join us from anywhere in the world. I'll be coming to you from France and learn all about this and get it in your mind and still have time to act on it before the end of 2025. That's our goal for all of you.
Our meetups are something that we do every single month, but something that we do every single week that goes hand in hand are our top picks email. If you've been following us for a while, you're probably on the list. If this is your first listen, definitely come to our meetup tomorrow and get signed up for our mailing list, because this is an email that goes out every single week where we hand pick and give candid commentary, properties in Central Oregon and some of the surrounding areas when there's really good deals to be had in the short-term rental category and beyond. We have a live deal list that we are tracking for the rest of 2025, where we have identified and analyzed several, I can't say exactly how many at this point, but about 20 properties on this list at this point. Short-term rental eligible properties. Some are eligible and the listing agents don't even know it. Some are turnkey, but regardless, these are plays that make sense on paper. They're definitely worth a second look. So those are lists that you're going to want to get on and reach out to us in order to do.
Yes, I know. And it's so fun. It's one of the highlights of my week is going through and giving you candid commentary about all these awesome properties that we find and getting you like the inside scoop on a lot of stuff too. Super fun. And you guys, we call this the Kick Corporate Podcast for a reason, because so many of you come to us and our colleagues around the country for investment properties because you ultimately don't want to trade your time for money anymore. You don't want to work for somebody else. You want to be in control of your time and have more freedom to do the things that are important to you. And that is really why we're so passionate about all of this, because short-term rentals, bonus depreciation, all of these tools help you to achieve that freedom and gives you options to do what you want with your time, to be like Sarah, leaving on Monday to go to Hawaii for a month. So that's the lifestyle, and that's the piece, that's the why behind all of this. So it's not just to say you saved on taxes, it's about living the life that is important to you.
Definitely. And here's the deal. We know how powerful real estate investing can be to achieve this. We've experienced it ourselves. We have helped several clients experience this, and we're just giving you one more tool in the toolbox today to consider using. So as a reminder, the framework we talked about today involves earning, sheltering, scaling, and exiting. And we've been over the method and the feedback loop to do that, right? So when you understand the infinity loop, you realize that the wealthy don't play a different game than all of us play, but they just understand the rules and they start playing the game sooner than most of us. And we're encouraging you to start now. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to start.
Yes. And another key takeaway, you don't have to make more money to build your wealth. You have to keep more of what you make. And short-term rentals, bonus depreciation, cost segs, this whole strategy, the infinity loop, is how you do that. So Sarah told you about our STR deal list, where we've got 20 properties that at any given time that we've analyzed in Central Oregon that you could buy before the end of the year. And we would love to help you do that. So please message us. You can message us STR deals and we will send that to you directly so that you can start looking at deals and get something in your portfolio before December 31st.
Thanks again for tuning in and watching our podcast. Here's a quick little disclaimer. We are not CPAs licensed in that way. We are licensed realtors in the state of Oregon. So we're here to help connect you and help you buy and sell in Oregon. Just remember, guys, the freedom is not found in that paycheck or working as hard as you can for it, for that W-2 job. It really is built through strategy. And we're passionate about helping you figure out what that strategy is and helping you execute it.
So we'll see you next time on the Kick Corporate Podcast. Thanks for watching.